Welcome once again to The Reading Room, the companion YouTube show to the podcast called
The Comic Shop.
Today is the 5th of November.
Happy Daylight Savings.
Happy Guy Fawkes Day.
Got who?
Guy Fawkes.
Oh, yeah?
Remember the 5th of November?
Ah.
Which, if you didn't celebrate Guy Fawkes Day by reading the original
V for Vendetta.
V for Vendetta by Alan Moore written back in the 80s, then shame.
I didn't even realize it.
I didn't read all of it, I read some of it.
I don't have it to read.
I have it.
The
I looked. I picked up the digital copy.
Ah.
Anyway, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. So Facebook.com/The Comic Shop, acpodcast1@gmail.com, and The Comic Shop 1 on Instagram. I don't even bother with the Twitter. Instagram's really kind of Instagram and Facebook is kind of where we're really at nowadays. So there you go. Without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into episode 19.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, you're right.
Sure. Okay, good. Episode 19 of The Reading Room. And today, this came to my possession by way of Brother Ed, who has a wonderful habit of when he goes up to the brick and mortar of saying, hey, put a copy of this in my brother's pull box just to see if it's something he might want to take a look at. And there's been a few things, some of which I have gotten, some of which I haven't. But this is one of the ones that I did get, and this is a relaunch of a DC character called Ragman, which if you watch the CW shows, you know that last season on Arrow, a version of Ragman was part of the crew. And this is...
I can only imagine this is why he's getting relaunched.
Maybe. Maybe. I thought they did a really good job with Ragman on the TV show.
I did too.
So this is the most recent run of the character. So it's pretty fresh. This is issue 1. I picked this up a few weeks ago. And this is... let me find the crew here, the names of the crew. What was it?
Crew.
The, artists.
Oh.
Creators.
Usually the first couple pages, isn't it?
Yeah. I lost it. Where was it? I lost
Right
it.
there, come back.
Where? No, that's an ad.
Oh, shit.
Anyway, okay.
Where is it?
Fox, Miranda, and De La Cruz. It was in there somewhere. I don't know where it was. But
That's crazy. It's
where
not
it
where
went.
it's supposed to
Oh,
be.
there. They put it on the last page.
All right.
Because Ray Fox is the writer. Inaka Miranda is the artist. And Eva De La Cruz is doing the colors. This is cool. It's a nice take on the origin of the character, where he's.
Oh, they give you a new origin?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. This is the origin is in Israel. It kind of harkens back to the character's roots as being a Jewish character. And he's a mercenary. They're basically they're tomb robbing in a cave in Israel, and the squad is attacked and set upon by things that are not necessarily of this earth, or human beings possessed by things that are not necessarily of this earth. And he's back in the world. He's going to counseling for PTSD. He has the stuff that he brought back with him. And what happened was there was an explosion. A grenade went off in the cave, and the rags took him over and protected him from the explosion.
Nice.
And now he's susceptible to the power that's inside the rags. And it's a nice, very cool, very kind of cut and dry introduction to the character. It doesn't give you a whole lot of background. There's obviously, he's fighting like demons in this one.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, this is nice. I like this splash page. It gives you a sense of the power. It's a little, some of the panels with the rags are a little complicated.
It's like hard to tell who starts where.
It's kind of hard to, yes, which is actually kind of, it's kind of cool because you understand like a superhero whose costume is essentially living rags that can shoot out like in strips of cloth and stuff like that.
Harkens back to a symbiote.
It harkens back very much to a symbiote thing, or even kind of Spawn-esque in a way.
Sure that.
So the book flashes, but he's dead. It's a dead body possessed by.
Right.
Yeah.
Weird.
It flashes back and forth to the origin and to what's going on in present day. And present day is when he becomes aware of the fact that now he has this piece him and the Power of the Rags have kind of a symbiotic relationship.
That's neat.
Yeah. And so there you go. It's a pretty good read. I don't know if I'm going to continue with this one. I might try to track down issue 2 here sometime soon. But for a lot of people, it's a violent book. It's not uber violent or crazy violent. It's not crazy bloody. There's not a lot of gore in it. There's a little bit, but it happens in Gotham, which is interesting. So
Surprised you don't see somebody else there.
well, you never know. You might. It is a
Imagine
DC
if
book.
they're-
It's
if
not
gonna
on the
remain-
imprint or
if
anything
it's
like
going to
that.
remain in Gotham, you may get to see somebody else.
Yeah, that won't be in issue 2. That might be issue this is, I think, one of 6, is what this is planned out to be.
Yeah, but recently both houses have been naming their limited runs.
Yeah.
1 of 4. Then it gets to 4, and it's 4 of 5 or 4 of 6. And they keep extending. You know what I mean?
Valiant even did that with Secret Weapons.
They did.
That's going to relaunch with an issue 0 in January.
Oh no! I mean, their limited runs when they first put them out.
Yeah.
It's like 1 of 4, and then it gets to 4, and it's 4 of 6.
Oh, I see what you
They
mean.
just extend it without telling anybody.
Well, I guess it depends on how much they sell. I mean, you got to plan it out in advance, but it depends on how much. But anyway, it was a good read. I like the flashing forward, flashing back setup that they have in here. The cover is
That's crazy good.
I've already put the overlay up because I do that when we start talking about the book.
Yeah.
The cover is very
That's cool.
very evocative. It's extremely evocative.
What is that? Ooh.
That's a dead demon looking dude.
Yeah.
So there you go. Something I got courtesy, more or less, of Brother Ed. I wasn't even aware that they were putting out a new Ragman book.
Good thing you have somebody putting stuff.
It's okay
To
that
draw
I
your
have
attention
somebody
to.
put stuff that draw my attention to. And the man does have excellent taste in comic books. We know that already.
Even if it's just DC.
Even if it's... Well, no, I'm not. Mostly. He reads some Star Wars stuff. That's a Marvel. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Ragman, the most recent relaunch. What do you got?
I recently picked up White Knight, issue 2.
That is getting a lot of traction.
It
A
is.
lot of people
And
are really
it's
liking it.
the only reason I picked it up to begin with is because everybody was so up on it. And we went through the first issue already.
I see more people talking about White Knight than are talking about. Maybe I'm just limited in what I'm looking at, but more people more chatter I see like online and in socials is talking about White Knight instead of like the metal.
Oh, well, I think
You
the
know.
metal's like crazy Elseworlds.
Yeah, but that's a Snyder and Capullo joint.
This makes me think it's Elseworlds issue 2.
Yeah, well, I gotta say,
At least outside of continuity.
undoubtedly, it's going to be.
Right.
It's going to be
And
Elseworlds.
the cover. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just bad clock and all this bad stuff.
And it's a very, what's the word I'm looking for? The cover, it isn't like an action cover. Like,
No,
or
no.
You're a cover you usually find on
It's
a...
like he's descending back into madness.
He is, but it's drawn in a very, very... It looks like one of those games where you have to like find the hammer.
Yeah,
You know what I
right. The hidden picture in picture.
Yeah.
But all right, Batman White Knight issue 2. It's just a really wordy book, by the way. You can tell.
Yes, it is. There is a lot of stuff to read.
This is Jack Napier in court trying to get.
Is that his shadow?
It is his shadow. It's
Right.
the shadow of the Joker
Okay.
instead of Jack.
All right.
I'm sure that's there on purpose.
Oh, you give me that. None of this stuff is
But,
done on purpose.
Yeah, he's in the courtroom. He's trying to get released on the grounds of the police never really had solid evidence. It was all stuff that was brought up by Batman or was just put in there that they never really had physical evidence. He's calling it like hearsay and whatnot. So actually, he does get released, and he goes back home, and somebody's waiting for him.
Yeah.
It's Harley Quinn, but she's wearing the daddy's little monster thing from Suicide Squad and whatnot. And he walks through the door. He's, Harley? She goes, that face! You look like a real freak.
But it's normal.
But yeah, because he looks normal without the makeup and whatnot. Look at you fixed up in no time. No talking until the makeup. Until we're done with the makeup. Then the sex.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's crazy. Keeps lots of words. And then he's like, I'm apologizing, and I want to give you the version of me that you always wanted. And he puts a ring on her finger. And she looks at it like, huh? And she busts out laughing. It's like, you might have fooled the courts, but you can't fool me.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, Puddin', I'm serious. Kicks him in the gut. And he's on the floor like, what the hell? She's like, what did you just call me? Are you for real? And she's shaking him. She's like beating him. And he's like, but Puddin', she's, I'm not your Puddin'. And he's crawling to get his meds that he just dropped.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little foot to the back of the Harley's head. Whose foot is that? Says, I'm not your Puddin'. No, you weren't. I was. And there is the original Harley Quinn. Apparently there's two.
Yeah.
Convenience sake.
Okay.
Whether or not that's happening in Joker's head, or this is for real,
That might be some kind of a.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But the way she describes her is just great. She's saying he needs what? A violent cheerleader with a bigger rack? I don't think so.
So this Harley is the Joker's Harley. The other Harley is Jack's Harley.
This is Jack's.
That's Jack's Harley.
This is Joker's.
And okay, so this is Jack's Harley because I haven't read this yet. The Suicide Squad looking Harley. That's the Joker's Harley.
Right.
Okay.
At least that's how they're portraying it.
Okay. Just want to know.
And we get off from that, and it goes to a big old splash of Mr. Freeze and his frozen wife. Yeah. And then, I don't know, it's not in the Batcave, but they're in some sort of research facility where Bruce and Mr. Freeze are working together using the freeze technology to help Alfred with whatever's ailing him at the time. And they're doing something with these mice and the freezing technology to freeze and unfreeze.
This freeze is very evocative of the Batman animated series.
Yes.
With the red goggles and stuff.
Yes, very much so. So he's got these mice with these little helmets on inside this liquid. And what's happening? Success. Congratulations, Victor. They're alive. What should we name them? There's no time to waste. And, it keeps going and more dialogue. And all of a sudden, something happens to his head, his helmet.
Yeah.
Or, no, he's using the data from what happened with the mice. And he's thinking he can take himself off in his freeze suit. And what happens is rapid aging. Because apparently, he was frozen like this, so was Nora, like back in his 60s. And he turns out to be like an 80-year-old man at the end here. And then they're like, well, how do we know it's going to be safe to thaw out Nora? Because we don't even have the cure for McGregor's disease when he froze in the first place. We don't know. And it moves on. Back to Jack and Harley.
This is pulling from a couple of different places.
It is. Back to Jack and Harley.
Yeah. And
they're having a conversation. Harley is explaining to him why she left. Because of his obsession with Batman got to be so great that... And that's when I knew that you were in love, but it wasn't with me. That's a great splash right there.
That's basically the cover. Yeah.
Kind of, sort of, yeah. And then she's describing when she came home one day and found Robin tied up in the basement. Jason Todd was Robin. And she got to stop the Joker from doing him in. But that's when she decided it was time to leave. But she went right to Batman and told him where to find the Joker. And Batman, after she stopped Batman from killing him, so Batman had to, of course, go easy on her. Now she's on parole. And this is how they're hanging out now in her normal-ish looking apartment.
So where'd the other Harley come from?
As yet unexplained.
Okay, all right.
Like that leads me to think that it's happening in Joker's head.
Yeah, I suppose that's possible.
You know what I mean? But this is a charity gala. Bruce shows up in the car he's donating. It's a really cool car, I guess.
It's a Mustang. It's supposed to be evocative of a Mustang.
Something like that. Yeah, and it keeps going. There's a newscast in the background with Jack and Arlene, I'm sorry.
Too bad.
Here on the top here, they're talking about real estate stuff that they do. Whenever Batman fights crime in these neighborhoods, they name the neighborhood Bat Impact Zone. And these neighborhoods get grants and stuff to fix up. And these guys swoop in right after it's fixed up, buy it, and it's a real estate scam. And Bruce is listening to this from somebody else. You're profiting on Batman's war on crime? And he's like, everybody here is. Crime is like the new best bet. So Bruce decks him.
Yeah. As one would.
Yeah, and this is a meeting Jack and Harleen have set up. I'm gonna let you page through that. It's very very interesting.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah, there it is. There it is. What do we got here?
Oh,
We've
boy.
got Penguin, Toyman.
This little bit here is really poignant.
Oh,
He's getting the Hatter's hat,
yeah.
and everybody's like, "Oh,
Ivy, Two-Face. Is that supposed to be Scarecrow?
I'm not sure." Penguin, of course.
Bane.
Riddler, Toyman,
Killer Croc.
Killer Croc. What is this?
I don't know who that is.
But anyway, you know they're being.
Yep.
And where's Clayface?
He's here more
He's
or
here,
less.
more or less. So they basically he's using the Mad Hatter's mind thing on him because you see the hat ticket, and he orders him to turn into dust and go into these vials, and everybody's drinking them.
Oh,
So he's got control of Clayface, and Clayface enters everybody's bodies, and now he's got control of all of them.
the Rogues Gallery.
Yeah.
Midsection of the Rogues Gallery. That's interesting.
Isn't that interesting? That is the end of this issue.
Huh. Well, it isn't just
Yeah.
Joker's the good guy and Batman's the bad guy.
No.
This is very much a Joker story.
It is.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
loving
without
it.
a doubt.
I'm not being a huge Batman fan. This is just cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. Well,
Cool.
that's it.
There you go. That is it for the 5th of November. See, I gave the deets at the beginning. I'll give the deets again. acpodcast1 at gmail.com. acpodcast1 at... what did I just do?
Start again.
Facebook.com/The Comic Shop 1. acpodcast1 at gmail.com and The Comic Shop 1. Or just search for The Comic Shop on Instagram. Instagram is pretty cool. If you get to the Instagram page, check out some of the people that we follow and that follow us. There's a lot of like freelance creators,
Oh, yeah.
a lot of illustrators and stuff that have kind of gotten into the orbit of our Instagram page. And there's a lot of really, really like some like gamers, Twitch gamers,
I haven't really got through the whole thing.
stuff like that. There's a lot of pretty cool people that are in our Instagram orbit, and there's a lot of cool stuff that shows up on that feed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So there you go. I love to spread the wealth, and I love to support the people that are aware of us.
And the garage is going to take off here in a minute.
Yeah, if you didn't notice, we got a little weather going on up here in the shop. So, all right, this is Scott.
Yes, he is.
I'm Eric. We are off to record issue 101
101.
of the Comic Shop. We made it over that hump, so that's pretty darn cool. And there you go. We'll be back with you probably. Well, okay. Quick show note.
Yeah.
What we're going to try to do is there's going to be the next 2 weeks. I'm not available. We're going to try to bank at least one episode, and then I'll release it around the normal time that we would. We're probably going to be at least 1 week drive, but we're going to see
I'm
what
going
we
to
can
shoot
do
for
there.
2. We'll see.
We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. There is always a possibility that we might be dark for 2 weeks, but we're really, really going to try to avoid doing that.
That is for the reading room alone.
That is for the reading room alone.
Comic shop will continue.
The comic shop will continue with an Inmates Protocol with Jim and Scott running the show. So there you go. We'll talk about a little bit more about that on the podcast, which we are off to record. We will see you again when we see you again. Be well, people.
Peace out.